Hoi, ik ben Melanie. Ik ben bij kapper Zegtuurma en ik wil graag mijn haren grijs met een paars-blauwe gloed.
Okay. And it wants a purple, bluish, grayish color. And we're gonna cut her hair with TC1 haircut to protect ends for splitting. Mag je een rondje draaien? She turns around to show you how her hair is. The first time modeling for me. Let's start with coloring. Hello friends in YouTube, got myself a new model. Now I start with putting on the protection of coloring. Starting with coloring, put a photo of the products I use into the video. Gonna do this coloring with a highlight version of Lakme, but then with 3% as 10 volume, so it's very less peroxide. And I'm gonna use conditioner in it, so step 1 of the glint line to protect the hairs, the skin, and the quality of the hairs. This plastic foil, this to protect the cape from coloring. The hairs on the back. Putting on my own protection, of course. Splitting the hair over the center line, starting in the neckline and building up. Start applying in the neckline. Put it over the total length. Parabening into this coloring, so it doesn't damage the hair at all. Fijn hè, die overlijn. Het is echt lekker haar, lekker glad.
Ja, dat is ook de allereerste keer dat het ooit wordt geverfd.
And so of course I do all her hair. All the hair is set in. So now I comb it and lay it nice straight on the back. Don't force anything with combing because you can always damage hair when you comb it through. And she loves to get a little bit purple bluish effect into the hairs. And she showed me a photo of that. So I'm going to apply a little bit of that effect into the hairs. So I take a rest over of the product. And I take a 522 plus, that's a violet color, and apply this into my bowl. So I have this and apply a little bit of that color into it. Centimeter or 3, it's a bit more than an inch. Mix this. Take mostly all the color off the brush. So I have hardly no color on the brush. Almost nothing. And this I apply in the underlines softly over the top. But don't go deep in, I can just give the effect on the hairs, like a shadow. On top of that, I soften the line by taking the brush vertical. Will certainly stay ultra soft of color. This I cover up, and then we can wait for 25 minutes, rinse it out, and then we're back. So take a carton wig, peel it apart, lay some lines on the hairs. So what I did stays on top of it. Then take a fresh plastic foil, lay it on the head and lay it on the shoulders. And so we're gonna wait for 25 minutes. Hello, back from coloring. After 25 minutes we rinse it out. Give her also with a 10 of Glint conditioner. So the hair is nicely in condition. Then you rinse out, and then the shampoo you rinse out, and then you put 10 on it, and you just do 10 seconds, brush it through the hairs. And it gives a lot of strength to the hairs and reduces a lot of damage. Give of course a cape. Although I don't go for short, I give her neck paper. This because then you have always a clean cape. Get on a chopstick. Part hairs just below the skull bone. What I told you, I'm gonna do this cut with the TC1 care cut of Jaguar. Start of course in the underlines. Take the hairs in the center line, watch where they're dry and thin. There, put my cut. Because I know for sure that the hair will grow, everything it grows for more than 4 till 6 months. The hair will be longer after the time because there are no split ends, so the hair stays growing, 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 and all the hair that grows with it stays longer. So don't grow faster, but it stays in a much better condition, so it don't damage. Take about 2 centimeters more. Put it nice straight down. Hold this line a little bit longer because the underlines were more damaged. So there's a disconnection between the under hairs and the upper hairs of about 3 centimeters. That's also an inch. Do this combing with the fine part of my comb. Work all the lines on this line. Every time take about 2 centimeters. Bend the hairs aside. Watch at the shape of the skull because now I get above the rolling of the skull. So I take the hairs real straight down. Make sure they don't bend. And when I'm going to dry this hair, first dry it in a straight line so you can see the colors even better. But then I will give her also a comb set so she gets nice calm rollers and a bit wavy hair. With grayish colors the hairs look always darker than they are. When you dry this, it's lighting up. Partly till I get on the center line of the skull, and that's straight behind the ears. And then I go to the front. Watch the hair stay straight down. So don't go into that bending. And while I cut, I see there's a little bit layering at the front. Not much, just a little bit. What I told you, from the center of the skull till behind the ears, by those hairs on the front to the front, get my wire with it. That's the only thing that's boring about thermal cutting, is the wire. You have to get used to the wire. What I also like on hot scissor cutting and hot razor cutting is that the hairs will certainly feel more sexy, more feminine. Don't tangle. That for a long time. Watch if the line is straight. And there it is. Take 2 parts behind the ears. Set them to the center line. And watch if they're the same length. And they are the same length, so I don't have to do anything like that. Then I come to the front. Part the front in the natural lines. So take the line of the eyebrow line and the eyebrow bone. Watch what the hair does. See where the thin ends are. So there I start. Told you it's a little bit layering, not much. Take a little bit from behind the ear with it. Connect it. Then take the hairs to the back. Try to steal an earring. Don't do that. Take the hairs down. Also, when you do a little bit layering, you get a nicer, rounder shape to the back. And you only have to correct the line just behind the ears, that it gives that round effect. Last part on the center. Go one more over the same line. Use the natural roundings. Go to the curve. Now we go to the other side. Watch where the hairs are thin. And when you do a cut with this tool, when she comes in the 4 till 6 months to do a new haircut, the ends will be as thick as the rest. So you don't have the thin part on the hairs anymore. Let's do them down here. Dan merk ik de voorkant ietsjes meer leidt dan de achterkant. Hè. Ietsjes schraler van alles.
Ja, ik heb in het midden ook van die speethaarpunten, maar ik weet niet hoe ik dat moet weghalen.
Ja, dat ga ik je vertellen. Dadelijk. Het is namelijk een kwestie van masseren. De doorbloeding is dan niet optimaal, omdat het bloed komt van achter je oren
Ja.
en dan gaat het omhoog. En dit is het moeilijkste plekje om te bereiken met bloed. Dus je haren krijgen heel weinig voeding bovenop. En als we ouder worden, gaat ook nog eens een keer de elastien op een gegeven moment eruit, dus je huid dunner wordt. Als je dikker bent, dan heb je wat meer dikte eronder zitten en vloeistoffen. En dit zit zo strak op je hoofdhuid dat je dat moet masseren om het los te houden. En als je dat iedere avond even doet met je vingertop of zo, dan blijft dat soepel en dan worden je haren ook weer dikker.
Oh, zo. En hoe kan dat dan zijn dat je in het midden ook gespeten hebt?
Omdat de bloeding niet optimaal is.
Oh.
Take the hairs to the front. Watch at the line of cutting. Take the whole fontanelle on it. Work till I get on the line of the sides. Go to the other side. First take about 2 centimeters. Take the hairs down. Watch at the dry ends. Connect the lines. As a cross control, I go from the top to the sides and back again, of course. Take from the center all the hairs to the front. Just to make sure there are no different lengths in it. Take them straight down, go in, take only off this small part. So now I've done all the hairs, so now I can dry this and then we can get some rollers in. First, start blow drying, I take of Glint a volume product. This adds protection but also volume to the hairs. And it smells really nice. Take my Olivia garden brush, brush it through the hairs, so I'm certain that I spread it. Then I pin up the hairs. I start with a large brush, blow drying, and start the neckline. Pin the hairs again onto the skull bone, twist them around. Get a fight with the earring. I love earrings. Turn a bit so you can see where I'm going. Take a large brush, starting in the underline, and blow drying my hair. En hier zie je ook die violetjes, die er heel zacht in zitten. Dan zie je buiten straks nog veel beter. Zie je heel zachtjes die violetjes?
Ja, heel klein beetje.
Een heel klein beetje, zo'n heel zacht zweempje. Maar dat ligt maar net wat voor licht je hebt. Want heb je dan warmer licht buiten, dus tegen de avond, de zonsondergang, dan zie je ze weer beter. Maar er komt er geel licht bij en dan gaan die warme kleuren neerspelen. Now so far blow drying in a straight line, so we're going to make photos of this and she will show you how her hair is now by turning it around. I take off the cape and then you see this, and then we're going to set in the roller set. Ja, voelt u lekker, ja.
Geschrokken.
Ja, dat is ook echt spannend. Voelt hoe lekker het voelt.
Ja.
Lekker hè?
Ja, en dan ziet het wel zoals zo fijn.
Ja, zeker. So she shows you this hairstyle, then we can make photos of it so you can see the coloring, and because on photos you can always see this, and when I go set the colors in, or you get a wavy effect, you don't see anything of the coloring anymore, so that's why I show you first the straight version. So she turn around to show you this. Mag je rondje eruit zetten. Dankjewel. Okay, made photos. Now I'm gonna work with roller set of Carmen. Take the hairs up. Give them a light hairspray. As you see, I've my gloves on. I want this because my hairdresser's hands are so sensitive, they would burn. I don't like that. On top I use smaller rollers. The more I go down, I use larger rollers. There is in a real nice condition. I use small rollers also because she told me her hair gets rid of the rollers very fast. So I start with small rollers. And you can see she has fine hair, so they slip between everything. Dankjewel. En zo doe alle haar onder de wind zet. Okay, now the rulers are in the hair. I show you in the underline. I did also some small rulers because there I need some volume. So this we let cool down, and then brush it out, and then you see the ends filled. Okay, they cool down. So now I take out the rollers very gently. Also then I let them just in the way they are curled because they have to cool down in the center. So this I let cool for a moment. Then gonna softly brush it out. A brush of ergo. Gently brush out the hairs. Because she has fine hair, I use a little bit combing against on top. Just in the underlines. Ik ben benieuwd op mijn say it. Now softly with my fingers, I brush out the hairs. Get rid of the parts you can see the coming against. So even nice fall into de hairs again. Je kunt ook voelen dat het heel makkelijk eruit gaat. And with a soft hairspray, it's a flax hairspray. And you see, from fine hair you can also create a lot of volume and a lot of hair if you want to. It needs some effort. You can see the grayish color even better. And fixate it with a slight stronger hairspray. Not using much, just a little bit. Hold your distance. It's very important with hairspray. Because the alcohol in the hairspray can dry out hairs, and don't want that. And so far 2 hair styles in one haircut. Nice coloring. I thank her for being my model. She turns around to show you the end result. We see each other next video. Bye bye. Het is al een rauw kleur hoor. En een bos haar zo. Wow. Nou ben je echt een Spaanse. Dankjewel. Mag je een rondje draaien? She turns around to show you how her hair is. The first time modeling for me. Let's start with coloring.